So on the bench today I have my personal Ibanez SR406 BCW. I'm defretting it and making it a fretless 6-string bass. This modification is very common for bass players. The idea seemingly comes from legendary bass player Jaco Pastorius after he pulled the frets from his legendary Fender Jazz bass using only a butter knife, then covered the fingerboard with marine epoxy. I won't be using a butter knife. Instead, I found these handy snips at Harbor Freight. The tip seems like it'll go right underneath the fret and lock onto the fret nib that goes in the slot. Then you can be able to lift it up with ease. I've used fret nibs before, but I got significantly less tear out with these new snips. But most of that probably has to do with the fact that I'm properly heating up my frets this time, just to melt the glue at the bottom that holds them into the neck. It's a much longer process, but the results are really worth it. This video definitely won't be the best how-to video on defretting a bass, but there are tons of videos that go into much greater detail than I will here. So after pulling all those frets, I take a sanding block, 60 grit, and I just sand all up and down the neck, making sure there's no raised bits of wood from the fret pulling or anything like that. You want your fingerboard to be as smooth as you can so you don't hear any bumps when you're running your finger up the board and getting your smooth glissendos and whatnot. I make sure to save all my rosewood dust. As when I'm done, I'm going to mix it with Type Bond 3 and make a wood putty, filling all of the fret slots as I go. Using the rosewood from the fingerboard that I just sanded off just helps to kind of color match and wood match and everything. It makes them a little bit less noticeable, you know. I've seen some folks, you can fill them with white wood putty, you know, so you can still see the fret lines as you're playing. I did that with a former neck that I did back in 2017. We'll get to that neck later because we're going to use that neck. It's a long story. And now it's time to use a little Dunlop lemon oil and treat this fingerboard. I'm leaving it completely unfinished, no marine epoxy, no lacquer, no anything like that, because to me that just seems a little unnecessary. This is rosewood. I want to be able to keep it treated with lemon oil to make it pretty. Oh, look at that sparkle. And with all that being said, this bass is finished. Here is the final product. It looks very nice. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear it, as just a few minutes after I recorded these bits here, I kind of had a mental breakdown and ended up smashing the bass. You know, it's pretty stupid. Mental health and all that jazz. But, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there was another 6-string bass that I defretted. Funnily enough, I still have this bass. I got this bass all the way back in 2017 and then defretted it in 2018. I've held on to it ever since because, of course, there's nobody that wants my shoddy work after I've done it. I still have the neck, that being said. The one major difference is the fact that this LTD base is a 35-inch scale, whereas the Ibanez is the 34-inch scale. So that'll take a little bit of measuring, but we can get this neck to fit on this base perfectly, or at least as perfect as I can make it. So scale length is the distance between your nut and your bridge on your instrument. It's very important. It'll determine where your frets need to be. So scale length is pretty important. And there's one other issue with this neck. So both of these come down to a point where they fit into the neck slot, but those points are both completely opposite of each other. So the idea is that I'll be able to cut the excess off of the LTD neck and then widen the neck pocket of the Ibanez SR and get them to where I can basically convert the Ibanez SR body into a body that would fit a 35-inch scale neck. So let's do it. I start by drilling out the excess wood in the Ibanez body, trying to square up this neck pocket the best that I can and get rid of that weird triangle point that it comes to. It's kind of pointless. Before I can use my router, I use my drill bit, screwdrivers, just to hog out as much of that wood as I can to make the job as easy for my router as possible. After routing, I pretty much do the same technique on the neck, making it pretty much flat as I can on the bottom. It didn't come out perfect because I don't have anything to work with this hard maple, but this is going to be an ugly job anyway, so. A bit of work that I did before this project happened was I ended up capping the headstock of this LTD neck with a walnut burl veneer, which conveniently matches the veneer on the body of this Ibanez SR. So it matches pretty perfectly. Going on to wiring, after doing some research, I realized that these Ibanez CAD pickups are completely passive. The only reason there's a 9-volt battery is, well, to power the active preamp. Of course, I hate active preamps. I hate excessive knobs, so I'm going to just completely remove the neck pickup, leave the bridge pickup remaining, remove all of the pots except for one CTS volume pot and an output jack, because that's really all you need. I screwed in the same tuners from the Ibanez SR base into the LTD neck and used the same nut. All that's left to do now is get it strung up and playing. So I guess I'll just see you guys when I play it. Y'all remember Fridays with PewDiePie? Oh, and I forgot the bass has an orange knob now. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching the show. Welcome to the. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching.
Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Honorable Company Senior Saint Sergeant Mr. Mrs.